Oh no, come on, bro. Well, it's your foolish.
We were better off broke. Money made things different. I can't pay attention.
All right. The Mind.
Boom, 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 boom.
Thank you
boom.
for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate it. Before I even start about the actual interview, what's your favorite Spongebob episode?
It's the one where, what is it? When they get lost and they like trying to like cross the street, like with the bus joint.
Or they get lost in Joliet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about Joliet. Yeah, that's my favorite one, bro.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
That's a great one. Mine is a Super Bowl halftime show. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-mm.
It's like Squidward's like the
Oh yeah,
composer or whatever. Yeah.
They've redone that a million times.
Travis did it at the Super Bowl.
That's very hard.
Anyways, what was it like growing up in Philadelphia?
Crazy. I think like I grew up in like damn near like every part of Philadelphia on accident because I grew up in foster care. Mm-hmm. So like I was bouncing around to different houses and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I grew up in North Philly initially, like when I was a little kid, as far as I can remember. Well, not as far as I can remember. Farther than that was like Detroit. But then one of my furthest memories was like Taney Street in Philly, in North Philly. 77 for Old Guys in Uptown. You know what I'm saying? I used to record with my homie. When I first started recording, it was like in like South Philly and stuff like that. But like Philly is cool. Like it's like a super soulful ass city. Mm-hmm. The brotherly love aspect, I think, is a little that's not real. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I do think that like when Philly dudes get older, like they become like the thoroughest, like the best people that you could ever meet. They're like really sweet and loving and like very peace driven. But when they're younger, they're just reckless. You know what I'm saying? And I think so. Like, I don't know, like, it was just, like, a lot of battle rapping. Like, a bunch of, like, I think I was, like, battle rapping in like, subways and, like...
You were?
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
wow.
I would battle rap, like, a lot.
And, like a subway, like a train station, or a subway, like a sandwich shop?
Nah, like a train station.
Ah.
Yeah. We was,
real gritty.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That was, like... Those are like some of my fondest memories. My RIP, my homie Don Quan. Like I used to battle rap him every single time I walked out of my front door when I was living on Ogons Avenue. Like he was literally just like he was the rapper on the block.
On site.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like my homies, like everybody was like he was that guy, and I was like, man, I'm tight, bro. Like you know what I'm saying? So like every single time, like we would just start rapping and people would just like gather around us, and that just followed me like throughout my whole entire like the entire time that I grew up. Like anytime that when I went to school, I was battle rapping. And when I was doing anything else, it was always that. But Philly was fun when it was fun. And it was terrible when it was the worst. Yeah. But majority of the time, like, you know, we found ways to have fun. I think like any good hood and whatever like that. But Philly's amazing.
And that's sad to hear that the brotherly love aspect isn't real. It's like marketing or something.
Yeah.
It's like
I think it's like almost like supposed to be like irony. Like it's ironic. Like when we talk about like Philly fans, like specifically like our sports teams, if you look it up on anything, like Philly fans are like the worst fans ever. Yeah. Like we boo our team, like we beat up other people's teams, like team fans that come to the city and stuff like that. We hate everybody. Yeah. But like we're also like if we love you, we love you. Like especially like all right, I say this. Growing up, AI was that guy. AI was Jordan for me. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I remember like it was a Fridays, the TGI Fridays on City Line Avenue. And after games or whatever like that, he would buy the whole thing out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like TGI Fridays like it was a club. He would buy it all out, everybody drinking and stuff like that. Like if you had your meals, he would like pay for people's meals and stuff like that. But like he would just like they would just turn it into club TGI Fridays on City Line Avenue.
That's beautiful.
So stuff like that, like just being able to like see like AI or Beanie Siegel or like, you know what I'm saying? Like all of these different artists and stuff, Chris and the Young Guns, like all of these different guys just like walking around. I don't know. It just made Philly like seem bigger than what it was. When I got older, it just feels like a really small city now. It feels tiny.
Yeah. Yeah, I only went once. I went when we were there on the Saboteur.
Okay.
It was cool. That whatever street we were on, it was really nice.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cool stores and shit.
Yeah, South Street is fire. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I mean, that's also a very central part of my childhood, too. I would, like, just go down there. Like, me and my homies, we would cruise down there and, like, literally, I just wrote a song about that too. But we used to like cruise down there and like try to pick up girls and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Before we were like even old enough to drink, we'd go to Penn's Landing. Like, it was fun, man. When it was fun. And then it was terrible when it was. So, yeah.
Who are some of your musical influences growing up?
Growing up. Kanye, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I love Lupe Fiasco. Which is crazy to think that I live in Chicago now because I had a lot of Chicago influences. Frank Ocean, of course. I think Outkast, Andre 3000 is my number one. Patti LaBelle, the Isley Brothers. Like I said, State Property, all of those guys that they were like the first, not the first rappers to kind of make it out of Philly, but like the first ones to like really go big and go crazy. So yeah, all of those guys. Drew Hill, Cisco was like one of my favorite singers ever. I don't think that he gets enough credit. Like I think that a lot of people just shit on Cisco. I think like when we talk about like classic R&B groups and stuff like that, nobody really brings up Drew Hill, and I think that they slipping. Boyz II Men, of course. It's a lot, man. But yeah, I think more so I was leaning more so towards like R&B, like when I was growing up, like just Drew Hill, 112, like all of those guys were like always like Edge, like I felt like they were all like really, really raw as groups, and I always thought that like, you know, 3-4 part harmonies and stuff like that was always really, really dope. And I think that probably came from like Boyz II Men and shit. But yeah.
At what age did you first start creating music?
I tell this story all the time that I think that it was 9, but that's just what I can remember. I had when I was adopted, I had a brother. His name was Ronnie. And he had a computer with like a small, like an HP computer with like the computer mic. And I used to record on that. Like I would dub something from the radio or whatever like that. And then like literally just like rap over top of like whatever was happening on the radio. So it's like, it sounds like the most cluttered shit you would ever hear in your life. But I'm just on the computer just rapping over top of it. So that was like, I want to say like 9, 10. That I can remember. I was always like writing and stuff like that. But I never knew what I was doing. I didn't know at that time that I was like making songs. I thought that I was just like writing poetry and stuff like that. But with the first times that I was like hearing music and I was like, dog, I just want to do what the hell they're doing. That shit sounds so cool. Like, and I was like in church, so I was like singing in a choir and stuff like that. But I never like to write raps or to like feel like I could like, I never really felt like I could sing. So like I was like, dog, I could write raps. And then I just like got more and more melodic with the raps. And before I knew it, it was just like sliding into like actual like singing. But like 9, 10 probably.
Okay.
Yeah. If my sisters tell it, they'll probably say about that same time too.
How was your experience at Charter High School?
Yeah, I went to CHAD, this school, Charter High School of Architecture and Design. It was fire, actually. Like, you know what I'm saying? Going to a design high school, like, specifically in Philly, was kind of crazy at that time. I wanted to go to a school called Kappa, which is a school of performing arts. Like, I wanted to go there. But I could draw, like, really, really well. Like, and at that time, like, charter schools still had, like, requirements. Like, you still had to, like not audition, but like send in basically like a resume to like get in, like, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, all right, cool. Like, one of my art teachers like was like, yo, it's this new school called CHAD. They just opened up or whatever like that. You should go there. And I was like, all right, cool. I thought I was raw as hell. Got there, half of the people that were there could not draw or couldn't do anything. I was like, damn, I did this whole portfolio for nothing. But it was fire. Like, half of the people that I know there, like, are like doing amazing things in their field right now. My homie Gianni Lee, Quinta Brunson. Yeah, like we don't know. We had like 2-hour, 3-hour design classes where we could just like really just hone in on skills of like building things out. Like we're studying like the design process, and like I really like attach that to like the way that I make music and the way that I kind of look at the world now. Like, you know what I'm saying? my teacher, Paul Schultz, like when I first told him that I was coming to Chicago, he like was designing some buildings out here too. So he was like, yo, I want to come out there with you and like take you on like the architecture tour and stuff like that. He was the first person I'd ever heard mention the term tiny house. He was building tiny homes and like these crazy ass cities and shit like that. I was like, what the hell? So he like came out here and was like, yo, I want to introduce you to all my architecture friends. I was like, this is so crazy because I'm not gonna do anything in architecture, like you know what I'm saying? But that design process and the way that he kind of looked at the world and just being like functionality and looking at it from a standpoint of like what's the story, what can these things tell you, like whether it's a house, whether it's like a book, whether it's like a microphone, whatever, like all of these things, like the creators of these things had stories and like what are they still trying to tell you, and then like using that exact same process with everything that I make as well. Like it's just cool, man. I think that like if I went to any other high school, it would have like probably ruined me.
Dude, to have a teacher just casually be like, "Oh yeah, I designed buildings in Chicago," like that's wild.
Yeah, I think a lot of my teachers I took for granted. You know, like I think we all did. Like some of like teachers are fucking fire. My dad's a principal, right? And so like teachers have always like kind of changed my life and like kind of propelled me forward. But like looking at like the fact that like I almost failed out of high school, like you know what I'm saying? I was on in-school detentions like every day. I had like detention like past the point of graduation. It was like you damn near got to come for summer school, and I was like, I graduated. I'm not coming back here. You know what I'm saying? But it was like, you know, my teachers like saved my life, and if it wasn't for that school and like them actually seeing me for like who I was, like I was an amazing writer, and they were just like, dog, like he's cold at that. Like he might be fucking off on his other shit because of like life and everything else, but truth be told, he's like a good ass kid and he's like really good at these things, and if we push him towards that, he'll be great. I don't know no other school that would have did that.
No. Can you explain what is going on in this clip?
Oh no, come on, bro. Well, your fool is hey bro, what, hold on, cuz. Oh my God, bro. I plead the fifth. No, that was my so me and my dad had this grandiose idea of like throwing a show at this place called the Philadelphia Clef Club. It's like a jazz club in Philly. Like it's like damn near like right down the street from where he works now. We do this show and we like was like selling tickets and stuff like that. It was whatever. But his best friend was this guy named David Rain that he went to school with, and that was like the only musician that my dad knew. So my dad was like, yo, you want to get in the music industry? Like, you know what I'm saying? My homie, David Rain, who lives in New York, he can help you out. So like I would just go to New York like every weekend and like make songs. And while we were making songs, like I think it was David's idea to be like, yo, we should put on a show. Like, and I was like, okay. Like I'm like 16. So I'm like, all right, cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? 16, probably maybe 15, maybe younger than that. And I had this, and so we put on this show, we like sold these tickets or whatever like that. If I'm looking back, that shit was terrible. It was terrible. Like I was just like trying to do anything but like I had fun on stage. I had so much fun on stage. It just felt like, that was my first show, and I just felt like damn, I want to do this shit forever, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I was big tweaking in that shit. I have no idea why I was doing that damn dance. I don't know. The crowd just be egging you on. Like it was nothing but like my sisters and shit in there. It was crazy.
I love that. That's some kid shit though.
Like for real.
To like look back and be like, damn, dude, I was tweaking.
I was wilding. I got that chain made at the mall. Like that chain was big as hell. I went to the mall. We had this big ass tag chain. It was crazy.
No, that chain was not only like big as hell, it was long as hell too.
Bro, it was
that's
like,
just to your waist.
Yeah, it was literally like, I don't know why. I wore that shit to school, bro.
Oh man.
I was wearing it to school. I was fighting with that show. That's crazy. Like me and my whole team had them jaws. We was like swinging them and shit. It was crazy. It's very funny.
That's beautiful.
Man.
So after high school, you ended up moving to Chicago.
Yeah.
How was your experience at Columbia?
It sucked. Like it sucked, but it like the people that I met there, I still know to this day. Like the first couple people that I met Chris Classick like immediately. Like, you know what I'm saying? I met Renzel, Lon, like immediately. I met my homie Sean immediately. My homie Maze from Philly, he had like came up to Chicago with me. He also went to school up there too. But like I don't know. I met people like that are my forever friends, and it had nothing to do with class at all. I remember I was like skipping class and like doing shows, and like I lived in the UC, so I was like using the like practice rooms as like studios, like as a studio. We would like set up a booth in one of the rooms and then run the line into another one of the practice booths as a control room, and then we would just like record like all night, and I wouldn't go to class. I wouldn't do anything. We was doing like these weird ass talent shows and all this other stuff. And I just remember I went to class one day, and the dude, like my teacher, it was like a recording, like a music business class, and he was like, yo, if you're already doing what you want to do, like why are you still here? You know what I'm saying? And I was like, true shit. And I like called my dad and I was like, yo, I want to drop out. And he was not with it. But I think it was the best decision that I could have made at that point in time. I was just wasting money. I was hemorrhaging off money. I didn't really want to be there. It was actually my first time like really out of Philly. Like I felt extremely out of place. I was like severely depressed, but I didn't know how to really describe what I was going through. But I was also having some of the most fun that I had ever had in my life, because I was like meeting like people who had came from their cities and were exactly like me. Like Lon was from Milwaukee, like Chris was from here, and you know Sean was from St. Louis. It was like so many people that I met that like changed my life and changed my perspective of like how I looked at the world. And that was like the first time for me that I'd ever experienced that. Like if you only know Philly, like that's all you know. But like Columbia introduced me to people from like weird ass places. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And when that perspective change or when that light flip changes, I just wanted to travel the world. I wanted to see everything else that the world had. I wanted to see everything else that the world had to offer. But Columbia opened that door. I don't know. Like it really didn't do anything for me scholastically though. Yeah. But take my money.
I feel like most people I talk to that went to Columbia say similar things. Like they met a lot of cool people there, but everything else is kind of
sweet.
Yeah, I went to school out there. I went to Robert Morris.
Okay. I
also dropped out. My mom was also not pumped. My mom's also a teacher. So I feel you.
You know what I'm saying? My pop was pissed. He was pissed. That was like all of my teachers. Like my aunt is also a principal. Like you know, my dad has nothing but friends who are also you know educators. Yeah. My uncle is like a life coach and like a therapist. They were all looking at me like, "Yo, you are tweaking."
They weren't
like,
trying to hear that shit.
Not at all. Yeah. Not at all. But I was done with it. Like Columbia also fucked me up because like the first time that I went there, I was like getting like I was technically a ward of the state, so I was like getting my aid was like determined by that. So they started making me go through this weird ass interview where like they kept on interviewing me and being like, so why are you a ward of the state? Like, and I was like, I don't have parents. And they was like, why don't you have parents? I was like, cause foster care? Like, and they was like, why foster care? I was like, bro, like who the fuck are you? Like, you know what I'm saying? And it kept doing it. Like I did it like 4 or 5 times to the point that my uncle like wrote up like, he basically was like about to sue them. He was like, yo, we about to sue y'all. And I got like a whole semester at Columbia free. They were like, yo, I met with the president. It was all this crazy shit. It was the worst semester I've ever had. I think I like stayed in my dorm. I was living in Dwight at this point. I stayed in my dorm and was like playing Fable all day. Like I was like, bro, I was like wasting my life away. No, it wasn't even Fable. It was oh my God. What's that game, bro? Fallout. I was just playing Fallout like the entire time. Like every class that I was supposed to go to, I was just playing Fallout. I never left my room.
Damn. Well, a free semester at Columbia is not cheap.
It's not.
So like, you kind of snapped if you got to just chill for free, play Fallout, have you know.
I tweaked and make music. I made music during that time.
Can you tell me about your villain, my hero?
Oh my God. I hate this. This is like Nardwuar. I'm like, I was in a cover band. So like I left Chicago and like I was like, fucked up. I was like, you know, I think I was like out here homeless. I was sleeping on my homie floor. I was like broke as hell. You know what I'm saying? And then I was like, he had like a studio apartment. It was like him and his girl, and he just like let me sleep on the floor. It was crazy. Whatever like that. Shout out my brother Maze and Natalia, bro. I love y'all forever. But like, I slept on 8th floor, and my dad was like, bro, just come home, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was like, what are you doing? So I like went back to Philly for like a year. And a friend of mine, I think my homie Barry, he like recommended me to this guy to like be in this top 40 cover band, whatever. And they were like, yo, we'll move you back to Chicago. We'll do whatever like that. And I was like, are you fucking serious? Like, you move me back to Chicago to like just perform in this stupid ass band, whatever like that. And I was like, for sure. So I like moved back and like just was doing this fucking cover band shit. We was like doing top 40 like rap songs, like pop music. It's fucking terrible. We was like traveling down to Carbondale, like all parts of Ohio. Like it was fucking disgusting, bro. Like, but it was cool because like I will never do a show that long. Like they basically treated us like a DJ. Like we were doing 90-minute sets. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not 90-minute sets, like 3-hour sets, whatever like that, 2 back-to-back 90s. And it just like it got my chops up as far as like being a performer. Like I started to understand like crowd interactions, like starting to understand like, yo, like we had like fans and shit. It was fucking weird, bro. Like they really like us performing. And I was like, you know, that's not my song, bro. Like that's Kendrick, bro. like I promise you, that's not me, bro. Like, and so it like I said, it played the part that it needed to play because it definitely got me to where I am now. I think like I wouldn't be half of the performer I am now if it wasn't for like being in a cover band. Yeah. And also the respect for like other people's. I also think that I'm a better writer because of it. Like going through other people's songs and like memorizing their lyrics and like understanding like, you know, the complexities and sometimes like the very non-complex versions of their songs and stuff like that, but like also saying a lot without saying too much, and the effectiveness and like, you know, how crowds kind of react to different things. It was dope, man. My friend Bettina, you know what I'm saying, was in there too, and yeah, it was cool, man. It was a cool band.
I was wondering this the other day. How did you even come up with the name theMIND?
Oh shit. I was high on acid. My dad's gonna see this.
We can cut it out.
No, you can definitely keep it in. I was high on acid, and I was having this crazy ass trip, and I just started to realize that like everything. I was just explaining this to somebody. I was having this conversation the other day, but I was like, everything that we create, everything that we have that is us. The perspective of us is in our mind. Like we control it. And I was so afraid of every fucking thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like coming from where I came from, like all of this trauma and everything else like was affecting me in like these crazy ass ways. And I couldn't really be the person that I wanted to be. So like when I was on acid, I created like this superhero who was theMIND. And he could do everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? He wanted to sing, he could sing, he was cold. Like, you know what I'm saying? He wanted to like get on stage and be fearless, he could do that. Like he wanted like the crazy badass chick, he could get her. Like it was just like he was that guy. And so like when I first started, you know, like living underneath that alias or whatever, I had 2 Twitters. I had like a Zig Twitter and then I had a theMIND Twitter. And like some people knew that it was the same person, but like the majority of the people, like when I first started dropping music underneath that moniker, like no one knew. And eventually I got to the point where I started accepting like facing my fears and all of that other shit as myself. And then theMIND became me. But it started off as like, and also my dad's like a therapist and a psychologist, and I mean my uncle's a psychologist and a life coach, and my dad's a therapist and a teacher, and I think everything like kind of tinker from that. I think that I'm a product of both of them. I don't know.
So, I have a gift for you.
It's not an animal, is it?
No, that'd be wild.
That'd be wild. It's just like a small puppy comes up out of it. I'm like, yo, why you put a puppy in that bag, my boy? Stop it. If it's chopsticks underneath it, then I know you real. Yep. Yep. That's the only way that you eat Doritos, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to get nacho cheese dust all over your hands, man. That's not cool. That's not P. You feel me? So what you do is, you feel me? You get 2 of these, man. You get one of these right here. You cleanse yourself, man. You know what I'm saying? Your hands stay forever clean, bro. You know. It's in the Bible, man. You know. Cleanliness is next to godliness, you feel me? And if I got some lifesaver chopsticks that was like a crazy ass gift. It was an amazing gift. You know, just to do this with, you feel me?
Unbelievable.
You feel me? This is how you gotta do it. How you even know this, man?
I did my research.
This is amazing.
Ooh, we'll cut that part out. But when did this start?
I don't even know. I have no idea. I just think I remember hating chip dust being on my hands. And I found a player way to, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Really participate in my Dorito.
I like this. Keep the sticks in the bag.
You see what I'm saying?
Save for later.
It's cool. And it even works. It works even better with like walking tacos. Everybody be walking around with their forks and stuff like that. Use some chopsticks, man. Be a little bit more cultured. But it was also like a player way to show people that I knew how to use chopsticks.
I don't.
You don't?
Not for real. Do you? Do you?
I think a lot of people sleep on that, man. I hope a lot of people integrate that into their Dorito eating. You know what I'm saying?
I hope so, too. You've been on damn near all of the Chicago Classics over the last, 10 years. Like, Ballin' Like I'm Kobe, Telephone, Care For Me. I got more written down. The Waters, Black Swan, Eye Drops. I could go on.
Yeah.
Do you ever sit around and, damn, I'm, really raw?
Nah. Nah, it's sad as fuck. I got imposter syndrome like a motherfucker.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I what's the that meme with the dudes staring at themselves in the mirror? Like sometimes I feel that and I try to psych myself into that. But I think that I feel like it if I'm being completely honest, I just feel like I'm blessed, right? I feel like I just met a bunch of raw ass people and they made some raw ass shit and then I just happened to be there. You know what I'm saying? I know that feels petty to say or whatever, but in doing so, but then my dad has this thing where he's telling me well, you must also be raw if you are among all of these raw individuals.
Yes.
And I think the music industry also isn't in the charity business. I mean, people have nonprofits, but you know what I'm saying? But it's not in the charity business in terms of nobody's just gonna put you into some shit just because they think that you're nice, as a nice person. The majority of stuff that you get in this shit, man, I feel like I've earned, I do understand. I don't think that many people can fuck with my pen. I do think that I'm cold. I know that. When I sit down and actually dissect shit or whatever like that. But then sometimes you just get down on yourself. I want one of those too. I've helped a lot of people in those regards, but I want one too. I want mine. Yeah. And that's what I'm shooting for now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Speaking of your projects, a couple of years ago you dropped Don't Let It Go to Your Head. What was the creation process behind the project like? And then where did the inspiration for the cover come from?
Okay. I'll go cover first. Renee Magritte has a picture called Lovers. And it's a couple with two pillowcases or sheets or whatever over top of their heads and they're kissing. And I wanted to recreate that with two black individuals, but with poppy store bags, bodega bags, whatever you call them, thank you bags, t-shirt bags, whatever that's the actual proper term, over their heads, because I felt like it was a little bit more violent, if I might add, because I felt I don't know, I felt for me, a lot of times, you know, these relationships you might be in, I felt like every relationship that I was in prior to that, or not every relationship prior to that, but like every relationship that I'd ever been in felt like a solo act. Like I felt like, damn, like my ex is gonna hate me for this. Like, like I felt like I was suffocating myself in the relationship, and with my own trauma, with my own shit, while trying to love someone else. You know what I'm saying? And then it makes it even harder if you're trying to kiss somebody with a fucking bag on their head or whatever like that. So like they're going through their shit, I'm going through my shit, and we're like slowly killing ourselves all the while killing each other. You know what I'm saying? While trying to make this thing happen, and everybody's just acting like this shit is normal. And I think that I wanted to invoke that with the cover. And I think the process of creating that album, I'm like, if anyone was to listen to that album, I'm the anti-hero in every song. I'm not the good guy. Like I literally fail at all of those things. And it's not because I think that I'm like a terrible person, but it's more so because if I ever look at a situation, I can only look at what I did wrong. I can only see that. I can only speak on that. I can't speak on like what you did or how you hurt me or whatever. Out of all of the pain that I've received in my life, I can only look at it at the situation. I'm like, damn, what did I do? Like, and that's fucked up sometimes because again, that adds to this imposter syndrome. That adds to this aspect of like me not feeling worthy or this, you know, but it also helps in regards of, I don't want to place blame. Like I'm responsible for all of the decisions that I make. Like where I fucked up, I fucked up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Where I did good, I did good. Like, you know, and so on and so forth. But I wanted to kind of display that on that album. And it was good. I just feel like I dropped it in the middle of a pandemic, and that's the worst fucking thing that you could ever fucking do. So,
sidebar off of that, was it weird like going through the pandemic as a musician? Because you can't interact with fans, right? You can't throw shows. All you can really do is be on Twitter or Instagram or whatever.
Fucking sucked.
What was that experience for you?
It was the worst. I mean, even like during that time too, I want to say that like Instagram, like most social media platforms adjusted their algorithm that it wasn't catering to us anymore. Like there once was a time where you could like specifically reach out and like talk to individuals. And like your fans could find you. There was a lot of people when I dropped Don't Let It Go to Your Head, no one, my fans, people who followed me was like, I never even knew you dropped a project.
Algorithm.
Yeah. And I was like, how can you take away, especially during a time where like I can't go outside and tell people, like, you know, that's the whole point of like release parties and small activations and all this other stuff, is to tell people like, hey, I dropped something. So if I don't have a crazy ass budget, how can I pay for my shit to be out to the public and reach people who follow me, people who like want to know the new shit that I came out with, and you're blocking me from doing so. So I felt stagnant. I felt like I really couldn't do anything. I felt like every artist that I've talked to, they've all said that they were uninspired. Like they felt like people didn't fuck with them. Like the world didn't fuck with them. Because that closeness that we had all, like, you know, art is objective. Like, you know what I'm saying? And until you can like be in front of somebody and they can say like, yo, I fuck with your shit, like you don't really know if it's good or not. I can go up and down and be like, yo, like I love my shit, I love my homie shit or whatever like that. But that's me saying that to me or me saying that to them. Until it's an outside party that has nothing to do with any of us to say like, yo, that shit's hot, that shit not real. Like, and so like they took that away from us. And the pandemic took the aspect of going outside and telling people like, hey, I just dropped something away from us. So it just felt like super stagnant. If I can go back and do it again, I would have waited. I would have waited to drop Don't Let It Go to Your Head probably this year.
Yeah. But even in that moment, that's easy to say now. In that moment, it was like, exactly. How long is this shit going to last?
Literally.
You know?
Yeah.
I feel it. Femme was the same way for a lot of the pandemic. And the Instagram shit's whack, bro.
Yeah.
Our Lyrical Lemonade account on Instagram has been shadow banned for like 3 months. Because we dropped a video with Yeet, and the title was like something, and then / and then Taliban. So like using that word in the Instagram post. Like,
they was like, nah, y'all
I
done.
work for Lyrical. I follow Lyrical. If I type in Lyrical in my search bar, it doesn't.
You
pop
can't
up.
find it.
It's weird as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I did the same thing about like the suffocation aspect of like showing a bag over someone's head. I definitely think that they shadow banned me for that shit. Like you can't do that shit.
Damn near.
Yeah. Like,
beautiful cover though.
Yeah, thank you.
Beautiful. You ever make a vinyl?
I want to.
That'd be a shame
Yeah,
if you did.
it'd be a shame. It'd be a shame.
If,
I'm trying to do a deluxe, so I'm finishing up a deluxe.
Ah.
So I'm just gonna redrop it or whatever. And yeah, I love that cover, man. I love that cover so fucking much, bro.
Me too. If you do a vinyl, let me know.
I got you.
Maybe I'll.
That'd be fire. Shut
Man,
on the wall.
What's your favorite cereal?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Nice. Mine is when I was a kid, it was Fruity Pebbles.
Mm-hmm.
As an adult,
Fruity
classic
Pebbles is
Honey Nut
fucking
Cheerios.
fire. Honey Nut Cheerios is
Underrated.
fucking fire.
It's
bro.
like Ben Gordon. You know,
Yeah.
like he was so raw, but people didn't really want to acknowledge how raw he was.
No, it's real rap though. It's real rap.
Can you tell me about the new fragrance that you have coming out soon?
Oh man, Gemini shit. It is a collaborative effort between me, my homie Matt Joint, and my homie Matt Moore. We before the pandemic started, I had this wild idea of like, yo, I wanted to create like a fragrance, but I didn't want to do the shit like Britney Spears, and no shade to anybody, but like I didn't want to do a fragrance like everybody else did a fragrance. I didn't want to just create some shit that just smelled good. Like I wanted to tell a story. And so my homie Matt Joint told me about his homie Matt Moore, and we sat down, he listened to the album. I mean, we all listened to the album, and they came up with like something that smells like the album. It smells like the album feels. There's two separate fragrances, Castor and Pollock, the Gemini twins, and it's called Gemini shit. And you could wear them separately or you could wear them together. Mm-hmm. But my favorite way is I just wear them together. But yeah, I fuck with it. Like I fuck with like I think perfuming as a whole we kind of dumbed it down. I'm not the one to like talk about that like for real. Like I think that there are people who are way more qualified to speak on it. But like perfumers are artists. They're fucking cold. Like they're like really, really good at what the fuck they do. And like they want to tell stories. Like most perfumers like wear multiple fragrances in a day. Like they carry fragrances around with them. And it should match your mood. It should match how like the weather feels. Like it shouldn't just be like one fragrance that you put on every day. Like, you know, up until that point, I think I was wearing like Tuscan leather like every fucking day. And I love Tuscan leather. I love like all my Tom Ford. Like I have another one like Oud Wood or some shit like that. But like, nah, bro. Like I just don't want to smell good. I want somebody to smell me and be like, damn, like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I think my fragrance does that. It's fucking fire. Like, if my humble opinion, I feel like, well, what's her name? What's Shorty said? She's like, I have a book coming out. I don't want to speak too much on it. Wasn't it Julia Fox? I don't want to speak too much on it, but it's kind of a masterpiece. Like, if I do say so myself, like, that's kind of how I feel.
I was gonna ask what you're currently working on musically, but you kind of touched on it already with the deluxe.
Yeah, the deluxe.
Or should I ask it and we just?
Yeah, we can rip.
Yeah. What are you currently working on? That felt so forced. Yeah.
What are you currently working on?
All right. Hold up. Question to throw it off. Would you name your kid Uphill Battle for $10 million?
Yes.
Right?
My last name is Wilder. Uphill Battle Wilder.
We did talk about this.
Crazy.
We talked about this.
Yeah. That would be fire.
Because Fem was on the fence. Fem's DJ was like, nah. And I was like, what?
No.
Motherfuckers out here named Keith.
Yes.
For free.
Yes.
No, for 10 million.
For 10 million? Bro, he got a bit. Bro, Hill, my man UP Hill is going to go crazy. It's literally going to be UP Hill.
Sports megastar.
Yes, bro. UP Hill Wilder, bro. Oh my God, bro. He's going to go insane.
So what are you currently working on?
I'm working on like a bunch of like Lucy's, a couple EPs. Currently working with my friend Carrie on her project. I'm working with my homie Felix on a project. I don't know, man. I'm just working, man. I've never kind of been as inspired on music as I've been right now. I want to re-release "Don't Let It Go to Your Head" as a deluxe. I think that there was a lot of songs on there that I left out, but I also think that there are ways that I could like tell the story a little bit better. And I just think that things are open, so it's you know. And I just don't want that shit to get lost, man. I look at like so many different artists, and I forgot who said this to me, but they were basically just saying that if I dropped a project, right, and 10 people heard it in 2016, if I was to re-drop that project in 2022 and 100 people heard it and then re-drop that project again in 2023, it's new to someone. It's going to be new to someone every single time. Like, you know, I'm not, that's not to say that I'm going to drop this project again like 4 more times. I'm dropping this project, dropping the deluxe, and that's the fucking end of it. But I do think that it's I've never been more inspired than I am right now. I fell back in love with like making music again. Part of that is like Classick Studios. Like a huge part of that. It's just like I was Smee was here and we were like working, he's like working on his album, and I don't know, like most of Chicago has moved to LA. So it's rare that I get to like see my friends and like, you know, work in community. But the ones who are still here, or everybody comes back. You know what I'm saying? Like to finish their shit, everybody comes back, and like Classick just feels like a goddamn, I don't know, like a summer camp or some shit, bro. Like it's just so much fun. I be in there at like 9 a.m. and like the homies be in there, and it's just like, fuck it, bro. And then I'll say that I'm gonna leave at like whatever my session is over at like 2 or 3, but then I stay for like another like 5 hours or something like that, because you just don't want to leave. Like I love being around music. I love like that wow factor that happens when you hear some shit that like one of your homies did, and you like, damn, like you cold, bro. And it's infecting me. Like I've never felt more like in love with the process, not to be that guy from Philly, but like I am, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm in love with the process again. I'm in love with like just recording and just making shit. So I don't know. I want to have like a Wayne year. Yeah. Like I just want to just drop a bunch of fucking shit. And so
I feel that. Classick Studios is such a dope spot.
It is.
Chris is really cool.
Yeah.
I've been trying, like when I started doing this interview series like 2 years ago, I had a list of like 50 people. You were actually on it, that I wanted to interview at the start, like brainstorming. Oh shit. And Chris is on the list and is still on the list. I'll make it happen one day.
You gotta interview Chris, bro.
I got some shit about Chris.
Chris is one of them guys, bro.
For real.
He damn near produced one of the first songs that I've ever made in Chicago. Really? Yeah. I'll never play that song for y'all. But like he made it. Fucking fire producer, bro. Like he ain't no slouch, man.
No. Chris, he does a lot of good stuff, guys, man. He does a lot of good stuff for like everybody. Yes. Like very casually and low key. Yes. And like never, he's not, you know, he's never outwardly like, oh, I do this, I do that. But he will under the radar do a bunch of dope stuff for a bunch of people. Yeah. And I appreciate him and people like that.
One of the greatest people in this city. Like for real. Hands down.
Can you explain what is going on?
Oh no.
In this clip.
Why do y'all have so many clips, bro? Oh no. It's
an 07.
Well, no. Come on, bro. No. Y'all could just cut this off immediately.
Zarif, Omir Wilders.
Oh god.
Video diary.
Bro, I don't have no facial hair.
It all starts with the cheesesteak.
Bro, I gotta take all this shit off YouTube, bro.
Nah, leave it.
Nah, I'm taking all of this shit down. Yo, every year when I was like a little kid, I was like, yo, I'm gonna start up a video vlog. Like
you were ahead of your time. That was 2010.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, I'm a vlog, bro. I'm gonna go crazy. I'm just gonna keep on like making all these videos. And New Year's Day, like I would be like, yo, like I'm fucking gonna do it this year. And I never finished them. Yeah. I always like made a couple videos and that was the end of it. But I don't know. That was me and my dad eating cheesesteaks.
You see, the only reason I want to show that clip is the last 5 seconds where you said it all starts with the cheesesteaks.
It does. It does. Like when you asked me a question about like growing up in Philly, I forgot like that part of my shit was going to like the Poppy store in our corner. It was called DNS, and I would order a cheesesteak with double fries, and I would eat it as I was walking back to the crib, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, or I would eat it on a bus. It's just disgusting to think of now, but like I remember that vividly. Like, you know what I'm saying? I ate so many cheesesteaks in my life. It's fucking disgusting. Cheesesteaks are like the most amazing and delicious, disgusting thing that has ever existed in Philly. For that to be like our calling card is hilarious. I was gonna put a cheesesteak on his hat. I should go back and do that.
That probably look hard.
It is. That I'm already knowing. I can see it. I want to put it on the back, like right here, or like on the side. It'd be crazy. I'm gonna do it. That'd be fire. I'm doing that shit.
All right. My last question.
Let's go.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, at least a Grammy. A lot richer than I am right now. Hopefully started a family by that point. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. Like I have this love and passion now for like helping younger artists like figure out what the fuck they want to do and how to do that shit. And I just want to build onto that as much as possible. I don't care what medium it is. You know what I'm saying? I want to be like a creative director for a lot of motherfuckers, but I would do it for kids for free. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you try to figure out your dream and I can help, like, I want to do that shit. So in 5 years, if I'm doing that, it's fire. And just, I don't know, like, happy. That's it. That's really what I care about. Like, I feel like I spent most of my life being unhappy and, like, it just feeling like I'm existing. And I feel like I'm finally getting to the point where I'm starting to kind of get this shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not life, but, like, getting, like, how to, like, kind of paddle in this shit. Like, it's like wild water rafting. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't go against it. Like, you got to kind of fall into it and surrender to it. My friend Sandrine used to say that. And just surrender to your shit. And so in 5 years, if I'm happy, rich, helping people, I'm good, bro.
Perfect.
I can't get out of my head. I ain't and I